It's a perfect situation to make musical sounds.
I've made the quilt and I've got scrap fabric left over, so I'm going to do something with it. So I'm going to show you how I made the block. For the central one, square in a square, it's just 4.5 inch white square, which will be your centre. You could have an embroidery motif, or you can fussy cut something out, whichever you want, or just plain, which is where I've got it. And then you want 4 2.5 inch squares. Now on the quilt itself and this one here, I have them all the same colour, but because it's only scraps I've got left, I've got 2 colours to go round, and I'll show you now what I'm doing. I wasn't recording any of that. This 4.5 inch square, fold in half and just crease it with your finger, and that'll tell you exactly where the halfway mark is. I've got a 2.5 inch strip of fabric here. I'm going to lay so it goes over the halfway mark and as far down as I want to go, because we are going to be covering those, and just stitch it down. Check it. Yeah, that's fine. So we want to first of all cut our 2.5 inch strip off, because we'll need that for the other side, and we will trim this down. You can do it with your rotary cutter, but I didn't bother because it's all the way over there and I want to say sat down. So I just press it open now. I've trimmed that off, and we do the same with the next strip. We're just basically making sure it's going to go from one end to past the middle mark. So let's just start it off. Check it, that's all right. Chop off the back of the colour, and that needs trimming down to a 4.5 inch square. So I'll do that in a minute together with the corner block, which I don't think I've got recorded. No, it wasn't. But all I did for the square and the square block is I got a 4.5 inch background fabric and sewed, just get one of these, I've got some 2.5 inch squares, put it in the corner, sewed across on opposite corners, and then press them back, and then did the 2 other opposite corners and press them back. And that needs trimming down to 4.5 inches, so I'll do that in a minute. These sorry, these 4-patch blocks, what I did on the quilt itself, I got a strip of fabric, with the fabric by 2.5 inches for the white, for this light lilac and the dusky pink. Sewed white to a dusky pink, white to a light lilac, and then cut them in 2.5 inch strips, and I sewed the strips together. But as I'm trying to use up the bits I've got left, it's going to be all different colours. So I need 2 colours, 1 of each colour. So we get a white piece, and 1 of the pattern pieces, so, and they're not going to be just one cut colour. I'm going to scrap it up using all the bits I've got left. So line these 2 up together. Snip them apart because they're not the right ways. You can take them to your iron, give them a press. I aren't bothering. I'm just going to finger press. Actually, you could do with finger pressing do the dog. So let's finger press both of these to the dog. And then we put them together so that they nest, because the darks are now opposite one another, and you can feel that there's no space for movement whatsoever there. So I am definitely missing my knee lifter, and I might be swapping back to the necky. Well, caught around the foot again. Definitely not used to this machine. Sorry about that. And there you have your simple 4-patch. So I'm going to make 4 4-patches. I'll be making 4 of this type of block, and I'll trim it down to 4.5 inches, possibly in a minute. But first I'll show you what else we do on these, because that's what it looks like. You've got another colour there. So where did I put the colours for that? I do not know. Oh, there. So we want to do the same as we did bring the corners on the square and square. just line it up in the corner, put it under your foot, and sew to the other corner. And that's sewn down so we can trim it up. So I normally trim to 4.5 inches, then put these on and just trim them up. And put one on the other side, and then I'll show you what comes next. There we all are, and I've got enough scrap bits that I've cut out and sewn together another one. So I've got 2 of these that will go on the back of my quilt. So what I do now is I take the top 2, put them together, change my glasses because of my old eyes. I've trimmed them all up to more or less 4.5 inches square. And that's there now. So sew it. Take the next 2 on the second row. Couple of anchoring stitches. Pleat out. And if you do it with this middle bit, you can make sure that you don't lose your corner, because you can actually see your stitches. And the bottom 2. Anchoring stitch. So to the end. Back to the top. I leave them attached. And your top row. Open it out, and it's correct because I've got the other one laid out down here and the quilt by the sides on me, so I can check that it's right. Get the next corner piece, the last one on the top, couple of anchoring stitches, and set it down. Quarter-inch seam, and the next one, and it goes there. Anchoring stitch, line up the bottoms, and your bottom row. There, there. I'm checking this time so I don't have to fix it, because I've sewed it in the wrong way. Anchoring stitches, line it up, and now we just sew the rows together. Now they seem to want to go to the inside, so that's how I'll finger press them. I've lost a bit of a corner there, but never mind. And I'll press the bottom ones and the top ones out so I can get them to nest. And we just sew these three together. And they are nesting really, really nice. I'm going to have to read the manual on this so I can get it so the needle stays down. That's it. Oops, thread sticking out there. Might as well get it now so I don't end up quilting it in. Turn it around, and that's where it's going. Turn that over, nest that first seam, there, get the end. You can pen it, I don't like penning because I get stuck by the pins all the time. A few anchoring stitches. And that's the block done. It needs a good press now. So there we have the block. Now what I did for the quilt is I put sashing round it and cornerstones to match the others, but this is for the back and I'm just using up what I've got. So I'll be putting the other one that I've done with it and some other bits, and I'll show you once I've done all the backing. It's getting a bit dark now, but this is the back. I've got this purple fabric and it wasn't wide enough, didn't have enough, but now I have. Now I've done this centre piece. It just goes all the way down. So now it's ready for quilting. Well, sandwiching, then quilting. Thank you. Bye. It's getting a bit dark now, but this is the back. I've got this purple fabric and it wasn't wide enough, didn't have enough, but now I've done this centre piece. It just goes